Why are people with narcissism so mystifying? People with narcissism, they live in a constructed world of double standards and extreme distortions. And that is a key reason why dealing with somebody who has narcissistic characteristics can feel confusing and frustrating and draining. And one way to cope with a person who has an unhealthy narcissism is to recognize the game of narcissism. And some key paradoxes in people with narcissism or NPD include: they are hypersensitive, yet they are insensitive. And people with narcissism, they will very easily play the martyr or fume at the smallest of perceived slights. They will sulk when they're not the center of attention or they don't get their way, and yet someone around them, like if somebody around them has a crisis and that person's hurt and needs, they're often ignored, minimized, and even ridiculed. If someone makes a request upon a narcissist, the person with narcissism may become irritable or label the person with the request as selfish or demanding. And though their narcissistic behavior inflicts a lot of pain on the people around them, they often seem clueless about it and acting mystified and indignant when consequences of their actions are pointed out, or say somebody's like bawling their eyes out in front of the narcissist. They don't even bat an eye. People with narcissism, they are the kings and queens of paradoxes, and they are oppositional yet intolerant of opposition. And many people with narcissism or NPD seem to derive energy from saying no to opposing things, and they may take delight in ruining somebody's mood or a special occasion, such as a birthday or a holiday, and they tend to blame others, well, always blame others, for their relationship problems. And it's about what you did to make them act a certain way, and they may need to always have an enemy, a vendetta, pursuing legal action, writing inflammatory letters, or running a smear campaign, seeking revenge. And yet, should someone question them or call them out on their wrongdoings, they can become incensed, full of disbelief that anybody would ever oppose them, and they may turn to personal attacks, again, smear campaigns, or distractions when another person challenges the narcissist. Another paradox, one that we all know very well: they are demanding of attention but unwilling to reciprocate. And people with narcissism, they tend to kind of be vacuums, and if positive behavior doesn't bring them to the spotlight, they will easily switch back to the negative behavior to remain in the dominant position, whatever that may be. And despite their pursuits of affirmation and admiration, they rarely ever dole it out, and they may listen impatiently to others, waiting to bring the conversation back to them, and they may one up others or compete with their loved ones, almost as if any good that comes to a loved one's way takes away from the person with narcissism. They are emotionally entitled, yet they are lacking in emotional intelligence. And if a person with NPD or narcissism expresses emotions, these feelings are often presented as sacred, unquestionable, and necessitating of worship and a full stop by everyone else. Yet when those around them express emotions, the people with narcissism tend to treat others' feelings as things to be changed and avoided and ridiculed. Narcissists are very quick to blame, yet they are very slow to own up to their own parts. And people with narcissistic behavior seem to relish in finding scapegoats in their own personal challenges and shortcomings, even if acknowledged, are blamed on others. If they fail, it's someone else's fault. And though when they succeed, it's entirely to their credit. And if their actions bring pain to others or have a great cost on others, they may seem allergic to the words, "I'm sorry, I was wrong," and they may glorify rules but insist others follow them, yet they are immune to those rules and break the rules whenever it suits them. They worship status and appearance, yet they're kind of myopic about their own flaws, and they become fixated on who they know, associating with only the right people in their mind and having contempt for those who they see as inferior, and they may compulsively need to look perfect and be the best. Yet if their physical beauty fades or their status wanes, they may distract, deny, and redouble their efforts to feel special and connected. They feel entitled to admiration and respect rather than acknowledging that respect is earned and that gaining admiration takes very hard work. They are needy, yet they are depriving. And people with narcissism, they seem to pursue success and admiration, material possessions, and other proxies for self-worth, and they may pressure or manipulate others. Yet to those who are close to them, people with narcissism are often cold and disinterested, and they may splurge on unnecessary material goods while criticizing others for wanting more than the bare necessities. And because of these double standards, being in a close relationship with somebody like this is often very, very exhausting. And if you wonder whether someone close to you has narcissism or NPD, the following experiences are commonly felt by those in relationships with somebody who is behaving narcissistically. You feel trapped, you feel blindsided, you are confused as to why someone who says they love you would show such little empathy. You feel used and manipulated and helpless to stop it. You're hyper vigilant, feeling emotionally unsafe. You're frustrated, angry, feeling small, isolated, helpless, and hopeless. You feel unaccepted, and you feel you need to hide your true feelings so as to not upset the narcissist, and you feel fatigue and sluggish and heaviness and over scrutinized. You feel part of a command performance, kind of like a marionette, and feeling not good enough and feeling unseen and unheard. And while you may have to relate to people with narcissism, you do not have to play by their games or their rules. As healthy self-care in relationships with people with narcissism means recognizing unhealthy narcissistic behavior, gaining distance between that narcissist and the behaviors through perspective and action, and asking yourself, at what cost? At what cost do you tolerate and accept this narcissistic behavior? And at what cost do you change your own behavior to avoid other people's reactions? My name is Sara Ann Brown, and this is Narcissistic Abuse 101. Hey guys, if you would like to donate to my cause, Narcissistic Abuse 101, click the PayPal link in my bio, and your donations are greatly appreciated. Thanks, guys.